Okay, I'm back. We had Matthew 24 and 21. It says, "For then the time that we living in now shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor ever shall be." Come on, we near World War III. Do y'all realize a nuclear war is going to fit just what Amashak is saying here? The devastation going to be so great. It's a great tribulation, great hell on this earth, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time. Come on, the closest we seen was Nagasaki and Hiroshima when America dropped the bombs on Japan. We talking about the nuclear power that they have now. It's also 1,000 times greater than that. Now you figure, come on. He said, "But then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor ever shall be." This is what he say. "And except those days should be shortened." If the Most High didn't have his hand in this, who is our man of war, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So who's the elect? Anyone that call on the name of Jesus, like y'all teach in the church? Nah, we got to see who this elect is, because we've been lied to too much. Too much lied. Too many lies been told and taught in this earth. Let's find out who the elect are. For the elect's sake, he gonna shorten the time so that World War III don't kill everybody. Because it's right here. We in it right now. Isaiah 45 and 4 defines who the elect are. "For Jacob's, my servant's sake, and Israel, who are the 12 tribes of Israel, mine elect." You see? So for the Israelites' sake, the elect, who are the Israelites' sake, he going to make the time short. Because you got to have 1/3. And all those that's going to be a part of the 1/3 that's going to be living when he comes. That's why, look, 1 Thessalonians. Don't be looking at war still. 1 Thessalonians 4. The 4th chapter and the 16th verse. Get right to the point. "For the Most High and the Mashiach himself shall descend from heaven." That means he's coming down from heaven as he ascended up. In Acts 1, the 1st chapter, the 9th verse, he's going to descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of the Most High. And the dead that have died by Hashem, Mashiach shall rise first. Then we which are alive, see, some going to be alive. Like he said, for the elect's sake, he got to shorten the time, because it's going to be those that are going to be alive during this time. Then we, who are the Israelites, which are alive and remain, shall be caught up together with them in the clouds, to meet Mashiach Ebershai through the power of the Most High in the air. And so shall we ever be with the Most High, while Mashiach Ebershai. Wherefore comfort one another with these words. That's why he told us also, reminded us also in Revelation. We can find that in Revelations, 11th chapter, in verse 12. It says, "And they heard a great voice from heaven saying," just like we just read in 1 Thessalonians 4:16 down, "unto them, come up hither, come up hither." And they ascended up. That means we're going to go up, Most High will. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud. And the cloud is a chariot. When you read Psalms 104 and verse 3. And they're operated through the angels. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud. And their enemies beheld them. We go up in these clouds, these chariots, the IFOs, identified flying objects, not the UFOs. Unidentified flying objects, but they're going to be IFOs, identified flying objects. We go up, and they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and the chariots of the Most High, what they call the flying saucers. And their enemies beheld them. So we in the flying saucers. We in the IFOs. In the same hour was there a great earthquake, and a tenth part of the city fell. And in the earthquake was slain of men 7,000. And the remnant were frightened and gave glory to the power of heaven. You see? So this is what we're looking at. Same thing that we read in 1 Thessalonians 4:16, same thing we read here. Only on this one giving you, hey, what's going to happen after we ascend? He going to bring forth that destruction. That's why I say, hey, I'm going to come and the world is all quenched, already quenched now. He coming to bring forth that fire to purify this place. Understand, overstand this. So, since we're dealing with our beautiful sister and powerful sister, Judith, let's go back to her. We in Judith, the 8th chapter, and verse 27, for he have not tried us in the fire as he did them, our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. For the examination of their hearts, examination of their minds, neither hath he taken vengeance on us. But the Most High does scourge them that come near unto him, to admonish them. That's why we're in Ecclesiasticus, the 2nd chapter. Go back there. Ecclesiasticus, we went to Isaiah 48:10, where the Most High going to refine us in the furnace of affliction. Now, he said in our affliction, we're going to seek him early. So Ecclesiastes 2 and verse 3. Cleave unto him, cleave unto the Most High, and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end, not decreased. That's what it says again. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. When the hell come upon us, I got a great tribulation, say, be patient. Continue to have the faith. That's what she had to remind them of, the faith in the Most High. Talking about giving ourselves into captivity, saving bondage in 5 days. Don't tempt the Most High. But understand. He said, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. Listen, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. That's why we went to Isaiah 48:10. Same thing. Believe in him, and he will help you. Order thy way of right, and trust in him. And that whole chapter is great. It's a great chapter to go into. Now, going back to Judith, 8th chapter, verse 27. For he have not tried us in the fire as he did them. He ain't tried us in the fire as he did them. Nor the examination of their hearts, examination of their minds, neither hath he taken vengeance on us. But the Most High does scourge them that come near unto him, to admonish them. Then said Osias to her, all that thou hast spoken with a good heart, with good mind, and there was none that may gainsay thy words. We got to accept everything you said. But this is not the first day wherein thy wisdom, your wisdom is manifested. But from the beginning of thy days, all the people have known thy understanding, because the disposition of thine heart is good. The disposition of her mind is good. But the people were very thirsty, and compelled us to do unto them as we have spoken, and to bring an oath upon ourselves which we will not break. Therefore now pray thou for us, because thou art a righteous woman, and the Most High will send us rain to fill our cisterns, and we shall faint no more. So they praying that the Most High send rain, because remember they done stopped all the water from coming up the mountain to them. Then said Judith unto them, hear me, and I will do a thing which shall go throughout all generations to the children of our nation. That's why I'm reading about it now. Ye shall stand this night in the gate, and I will go forth with my waiting women. And within the days that ye have promised to deliver the city and our enemies, the Most High will visit Israel by mine hand. But inquire not ye of mine act. Don't ask me what I'm going to do. But I will not declare it unto you. I'm not going to tell you. And a lot of times when you're doing things like in her mind, dealing with the Most High, it's best you don't tell people. Because what they're going to do, oh, that ain't going to happen. You ain't going to, that negative going to come. That's why he say, hey, don't ask me what I'm going to do. They're already talking about giving themselves up after 5 days. That way he say, don't even ask me what I'm going to do. Because I'm not going to tell you. But inquire not ye of mine act. Don't ask me what I'm going to do, for I will not declare it unto you till the things be finished that I do. You see? Till the things be finished that I do. Then said Osias and the princes unto her, go in peace, and the Most High power be before thee, to take vengeance on our enemies. So they returned from the tent and went to their wards. They went home. Then Judith, chapter 9, then Judith fell upon her face and put ashes upon her head and uncovered the sackcloth wherewith she was clothed. That's in humility, man. She put ashes on her head and uncovered the sackcloth wherewith she was clothed. And about the time that the incense of that evening was offered in Jerusalem, in the house of the Most High, Judith cried with a loud voice and said, O Most High power of our father, Simeon, to whom thou gavest a sword to take vengeance of the strangers, who loosed the girdle of the maid to defile her, Dinah, and discovered the thigh to her shame. These Hamites had sexual intercourse with Dinah, our only sister, and polluted her virginity to her reproach. But thou said, it shall not be so, and yet they did so. Wherefore thou gavest their rulers to be slain. This Judah prayer. Wherefore thou gavest their rulers to be slain, so that they died, their bed in blood, being deceived, and smote the servants with their masters, and the masters upon their thrones had them circumcise themselves. And when they circumcised themselves, men was hurting, they killed them, the Hamites. And cast, it has given their wives for a prey, took their wives, and their daughters to be captives, and all their spoils to be divided among their dear children, thy dear children, Salakia, children of Israel, which were moved with thy zeal, with your zeal, Most High, who's a man of war, Exodus 15:3, the Most High is his name, and abhorred, hated the pollution of their blood, and called upon thee for aid. O Most High, O my power, hear me also, a widow, Judith. For thou hast wrought not only those things, but also the things which fell out before, and which eschewed after. Thou hast thought upon the things which are now, and which are to come. Yeah, what things thou didst determine were ready at hand, and said, Lo, we are here, for all thy ways are prepared, and thy judgments are in thy foreknowledge. You already know what you're going to do before it happened. For behold, the Assyrians are multiplied in their power. They are exalted with horse and man. They glory in the strength of their footmen. They trust in shield and spear and bow and sling, and know not that thou art the Most High that breaketh the battles. The Most High is thy name, Hallelujah. Throw down their strength in thy power, and bring down their force in thy wrath. But they have purposed to defile thy sanctuary and to pollute the tabernacle where thy glorious name resteth, and to cast down with sword the horn of thy altar, the power of thy altar, Most High. Behold their pride, and send thy wrath upon their heads. Give it to mine hand, which am a widow, the power that I have conceived. Give me this power. She praying for this power. Smite by the deceit of my lips. Smite by the deceit, the lies that my lips gonna say. The servant with the prince, and the prince with the servant. Break down their stateliness by the hand of a woman. For thy power standeth not in multitude, nor thy might in strong men, but thou art a power of the afflicted, and helper of the oppressed, and upholder of the weak, a protector of the forlorn, a savior of them that are without hope. I pray thee, I pray thee, I pray thee, Salakia. Salakia. It says, verse 10, smite by the deceit of my lips the servant with the prince, and the prince with the servant. Break down their stateliness by the hand of a woman. Say, break them down by the hand of a woman. For thy power standeth not in multitude, nor thy might in strong men. But thou art a power of the afflicted, and helper of the oppressed, and upholder of the weak, a protector of the forlorn, a savior of them that are without hope. I pray thee, O Most High Power of my father, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and Most High Power of the inheritance of Israel, power of the heavens and earth, creator of the waters, king of every creature, hear thou my prayer, and make my speech and deceit to be their wound and stripe, who have purposed cruel things against thy covenant. She's praying that the Most High give her the power to lie correctly to the enemy, and make my speech and deceit, that's lies, to be their wound and stripe, who have purposed cruel things against thy covenant, and thy hallowed house, and against the top of Zion, and against the house of the possession of thy children, and make every nation and tribe to acknowledge that thou art the Most High Power of all power and might, and that there is none other than that protecteth the people of Israel but thou. Hallelujah. That's a heck of a prayer. Now, after she had ceased to cry unto the Most High of Israel, and had made an end of all these words, she rose where she had fallen down, and called her maid, and went down into the house in which she abode in the Sabbath days and in the feast days. She acknowledging we kept the Sabbath days and feast days, and pulled off the sackcloth which she had on, and put on the garments of her widowhood, and washed her body all over with water, and anointed herself with precious ointment, and braided the hair of her head, and put on a tire upon it, and put on her garments of gladness, wherewith she was glad during the life of Manasseh her husband. She made herself beautiful, and she took sandals upon her feet, and put about her bracelets, and her chains, and her rings, and her earrings, and all her ornaments, and decked herself bravely to allure the eyes of all men that should see her. She already beautiful. Now she decking herself up. taking herself out. Then she gave her maid a bottle of wine and a cruse of oil, and filled a bag of parched corn and lumps of figs, and with fine bread. So she folded all these things together and laid them upon her. Thus they went forth to the gate of the city of Bethulia, and found standing there Osias and the ancients of the city, the elders, Shabris and Sharmis. And when they saw her, that her countenance was altered, she beautiful now, and her apparel was changed, they wondered at her beauty very greatly, and said unto her, the Most High, the power of our fathers, give thee favor, and accomplish thine enterprises to the glory of the children of Israel, and to the exaltation of Jerusalem. Then they worshiped the Most High. Praise the Most High. And she said unto them, command the gates of the city to be open unto me, that I may go forth to accomplish the things whereof ye have spoken with me. So they commanded the young men to open unto her, as she had spoken. And when they had done so, Judith went out, she and her maid with her. And the men of the city looked after her until she was gone down the mountain, until she had passed the valley, and could see her no more. So she went down the mountain to the valley. They watched her until they could see her no more. Then they went straight forth in the valley, and the first watch of the Syrians met her. So the first watch of the Syrians, they see him, Judith and her maid come, and took her, and asked her, of what people art thou? And whence cometh thou? Where you coming from? And whither goeth thou? Where you going? And she said, I am a woman of the Hebrews. Remember, she prayed that the Most High would give her lips the right to seek to fool these enemies, the Syrians, and the Esau, and the Ammonites, and the Moabites that's working together to destroy us. And she said, I am a woman of the Hebrews, and am fled from them, but they shall be given you to be consumed. Say, I'm a woman of the Hebrews. I ran away from them. They're going to be given to you Assyrians to consume. She lying. And I am coming before Holofernes, the chief captain of your army, to declare words of truth. And I will show him a way whereby he shall go and win all the hill country without losing the body or life of any one of his men. Ain't just the same thing that he was told? She wasn't there when it was told to him. Said the Most High work in the spirit. Said the same thing, just like Job's wife. Satan said what? I'm going to have Job curse you to your face. What'd she tell him? Curse the Most High and die. She wasn't there in that meeting with the Most High and Satan. Just here it is. She wasn't there when his officer was telling them about we the Israelites. Cut off the water. Remember we read that earlier? Cut off the water. And you ain't got to lose no man. That's what she's telling them. Without losing the body or life of any one of his men. Now when the man heard her words and beheld her countenance, looking at her how beautiful she is, and she's speaking like she's down with them, they wondered greatly at her beauty, see? They looked at her beauty. She knew what she was doing. They were just looking at her beauty, and said unto her, thou hast saved thy life, and that thou hast hasted to come down to the presence of our master. Now therefore come to his tent, and some of us shall conduct thee until they have delivered thee to his hands. So we're going to follow you and guide you right to him, take you right to him. And when thou standest before him, be not afraid in thine heart. Don't be afraid in your mind, but show unto him according to thy word, and he will entreat thee well. Then they chose out of them 100 men to accompany her and her maid. 100 men to accompany Judith and her maid. And they brought her to the tent of Holofernes. Then was there a concourse throughout all the camp, For her coming was noise around the tents. Man, this beautiful woman that came to see Holofernes. And they came about her as she stood without the tent of Holofernes till they told him of her. They looking at her. She outside his tent. And they wondered at her beauty. They just marveling at her beauty. And admired the children of Israel because of her. Hear that? And every one said to his neighbor, among them such women, who would despise this people that have among them such women? She's so beautiful. I mean, she did nothing. All she did was showed up. Looking beautiful, well and divine. He said, who would despise this people who that have among them such women? Surely it is not good that one man of them should be left. See, we just kill all of them. Kill all the men who being let go might deceive the whole earth. And they that lay near Holofernes went out, and all his servants, and they brought her into the tent. Now Holofernes rested upon his bed under a canopy, which was woven with purple and gold and emeralds and precious stones. He lived large. So they showed him of her, and he came out before his tent with silver lamps going before him, trying to see her. And when Judith was come before him and his servants, they all marveled at the beauty of her countenance. I'm telling you, man, she had to be looking fine as ever. They all marveled at the beauty of her countenance, how she looked. And they fell down upon their face and did reverence unto him. And his servants took her up. If she fell down to reverence the king, or at least Holofernes, king. Then said Holofernes unto her, woman, be of good comfort. Fear not in thine heart. Like they told her, don't fear. Because she ain't fearing, she Yahweh, but she supplanting them. For I never heard any that was willing to serve Nebuchadnezzar, the king of all the earth. Now therefore, if that people that dwell up in the mountains had not set light by me, played me like I was nothing, I would not have lifted up my spirit against them. But they have done these things to themselves. But now tell me wherefore thou art fled from them, why you flee from them, and art come unto us, why you come to us? But thou art come, forsake God, be of good comfort, thou shalt live this night and hereafter. For none shall hurt thee, but entreat thee well, as they do the servants of King Nebuchadnezzar, my master. And Judith said unto him, receive the words of thy servant, and suffer thine handmaid to speak in the presence, in thy presence, in your presence. And I will declare no lie to my master this night. And if thou wilt follow the words of thine handmaid, the Most High will bring the thing perfectly to pass by thee, and my master shall not fail of his purposes. As Nebuchadnezzar, king of all the earth, liveth, and as his power liveth, who have sent thee for the upholding of every living thing. But not only men shall serve him by thee, but also the beasts of the field, and the cattle, and the fowls of the air shall live by thy power under Nebuchadnezzar and all his house. He's the king over Babylon. For we have heard of thy wisdom and thy policies, and it is reported in all the earth that thou only art excellent in all the kingdom, and mighty in knowledge, and wonderful in feats of war. Now she's boasting him up, exalting him. Now as concerning the matter which Achior did speak in the council, in thy council, and your council, we have heard his words. For the men of Bethulia saved him, And he declared unto them all that he had spoken unto thee. Therefore, O master and governor, reject not his word, but lay it up in thine heart, lay it up in your mind, for it is true. For our nation shall not be punished, neither can the sword prevail against them, except they sin against their power. So what he was told, as I went back to Judith the 5th chapter, this is what she confirming. And now that my master be not defeated and frustrate of his purpose, even death is now fallen upon them, and their sin have overtaken them, wherewith they will provoke their power to anger, whensoever they shall do that which is not fit to be done, which is breaking the Most High's laws and commandments. For their victuals fail them. It is food shortage, a famine, and all their water is scant. Remember, they only had water for one day, or they had to, distribute it in rations. And they have determined to lay hands upon their cattle and purpose to consume all those things that the Most High had forbidden them to eat by his laws. See? That's the dietary laws in Leviticus 11th chapter. And are resolved to spend the first fruits of the corn and the tenth of the wine and oil, which they had sanctified and reserved for the priests that serve in Jerusalem before the face of our power. The which things it is not lawful for any of the people so much as to touch with their hands. But they have sent some to Jerusalem, because they also that dwell there have done the like, to bring them a license from the Senate. So we had a Senate in Jerusalem. Now, when they shall bring them word, they will forthwith do it, and they shall be given thee to be destroyed the same day. Wherefore I, thine handmaid, knowing all this, and fled from their presence. And the Most High have sent me to work things with thee, whereat all the earth shall be astonished, and whosoever shall hear it. But thy servant is religious, and serveth the power of heaven day and night. Now therefore, my master, I will remain with thee, and thy servant will go out by night into the valley, and I will pray unto the Most High, and he will tell me when they have committed their sins, and I will come and show it unto thee. Then thou shalt go forth with all thine armor. You see this? Just like I just showed you in Ecclesiasticus 39 and 23. All the heathen know they were in captivity for our iniquity. She's confirming it to him. He was already told this, so now she's in his face telling him the same thing. And I will come and show it unto thee. Then thou shalt go forth with all thine army, and there shall be none of them that shall resist thee. You see, that's why we're going to get the victory in fearing the Most High, repenting, coming back to his laws and commandments in these last days, and crying to the Most High by doing what he say do, his rules and regulations, point blank. And I will lead thee through the midst of Judea until thou come before Jerusalem, and I will set thy throne in the midst thereof, and thou shalt drive them as sheep, thou shalt drive them, as sheep that has no shepherd, and a dog shall not do, and a dog shall so much as open his mouth at thee. For these things were told me according to my foreknowledge, and they were declared unto me. I am sent to tell thee. Then her words pleased Holofernes and all his servants, and they marveled at her wisdom, and said, there is not such a woman from one end of the earth to the other, both for beauty of face and wisdom of words. I mean, she's so beautiful, and they listen to her words as she's deceiving them. with her lying words. She prayed the Most High will give her the words to be able to, the ability to be able to lie to them, and they will believe what she's saying. Likewise, Hallelujah said to her, the Most High have done well to send thee before the people, that strength might be in our hands, and destruction upon them that lightly regard my master. And now thou art both beautiful in thy countenance, and witty in thy words. Surely if thou do as thou hast spoken, thy power shall be my power, and thou shalt dwell in the house of King Nebuchadnezzar, and shall be renowned through the whole earth. Let me see something. Hold on. So let me get right to the point. Let's go to Judith the 13th chapter, because it's getting late. We'll go to Judith the 13th chapter. Let's start at verse 1 and read this. Well, let's see. Go to Judith the 12th chapter, and we're going to look at start at verse 12. For lo, it will be a shame for our person if we shall let such a woman go, not having had her company. For if we draw her not unto us, she will laugh us to scorn. Right? Talking about Judah. It says, then went Boaz from the presence of Holofernes and came to her. And he said, let not this fair damsel fear to come to my master, and to be honored in his presence, and drink wine, and be merry with us, and be made this day as one of the daughters of the Assyrians, which serve in the house of Nebuchadnezzar. Then said Judith unto him, who am I now, that I should gainsay my master? Surely whatsoever pleases him, I will do speedily. And it shall be my joy until the day of my death. So she arose and decked herself with her apparel and all her woman's attire, and her maid went and laid soft skins on the ground for her over against Holofernes, which she had received of Bacchus for her daily use, that she might sit and eat upon them. Now when Judith came in and sat down, Holofernes, his heart was ravished with her, and his mind was moved, and he desired greatly her company. For he waited a time to deceive her from the day that he had seen her. So he's waiting on the time to deceive Judith from the day he first seen her. Then said Holofernes unto her, drink now, and be merry with us. Drink this wine and be merry with us. So Judith said, I will drink now, my master, because my life is magnified in me this day more than all the days since I was born. Then she took and ate and drank before him what her maid had prepared. And Holofernes took great delight in her, and drank much more wine than he had drunk at any time in one day since he was born. So he got drunk. 13. Now when the evening was come, his servants made haste to depart, and Boaz set his tent without and dismissed the waiters from the presence of his master, and they went to their beds. But they were all weary, because the feast had been long, and Judith was left alone in the tent. And Holofernes lying along upon his bed, for he was filled with wine. He was drunk. He had drank so much wine, like I said, more than he had ever drank in one day. Now Judith had commanded her maid to stand without her bedchamber. You stand, without the bedchamber, and to wait for her coming forth, as she did daily. But she said she would go forth to her prayers, and she spake to Boaz according to the name, the same purpose. So all went forth, and none was left in the bedchamber, neither little nor great. Then Judith, standing by his bed, said in her heart, so everybody's gone, and she's standing by Holofernes' bed. She said in her mind, O Most High Power of all power, look at this